Hello, welcome to Foliage series. Today we'll talk about project writing, basically the overview of each chapter involved in a project work. So we're going to start today by looking at the preliminary pages, summary of preliminary pages. There are key elements you need to know that we'll find in the preliminary pages. One of them is the title page. It includes the project title, student's name, matric number, department, institution, and date. The second one is approval page. This approval page contains signature of supervisors, HOD, that's the head of department, and possibly an external examiner. Then we'll have the declaration, we'll have the dedication, the acknowledgement, table of contents, then your list of tables or figures. Then finally we have the abstract. This is just an overview, meaning that we will still have time to talk about preliminary pages separately. The next chapter or the beginning chapter is chapter 1, and that's your introduction. Components of introduction or background of the study, statements of the problem, objective of the study. This objective can be general objective or specific objective, but for university projects, it's often specific objectives of the study. Research questions, research hypothesis. If applicable, in College of Education and some universities, research questions need to be there. Some other ones, it must not be there. So you must find out what works for your university. Significance of the study is a must. Scope or delimitation. Then we'll have operational definition of terms. That is about chapter 1. In your chapter 2, that's your literature review. The components there, the things that you need to include are accordingly. This is stated in order. We have the conceptual review. Number 2 is the theoretical framework. Number 3, empirical review. Gaps in the literature. Then we'll have summary of reviewed literature. So in conceptual review, you have to consider the key concepts and variables. And theoretical framework, you look at the relevant theories and models. Then empirical review, you have to check on the past studies and findings. The problem that many people, many students, even advanced students make in project writing under empirical review is that they think everything about literature review is just to go and check on past findings. They forget about the conceptual review and the theoretical framework and focus more on empirical review. It's not so. Number 4 is gaps in literature. Then the last one there is summary of reviewed literature. Your chapter 3 is your research methodology. Now your research methodology will be having the following components. Your research design, to have your area of study, to have the population of the study, to have the sampling technique and the sample size, to have the instruments for data collection, to have the validation of the instruments, reliability of the instrument, method of data collection, method of data analysis. These are all. However, the ethical consideration is included, but it's optional. However, in some university settings, some of this may not be there. So you find out what is applicable in your own institution, and then you go for it. Some institutions may not include reliability of instruments, validation of instruments, and all that. So, but you find out what works in your own institution. So, we get to the next chapter, and the next chapter is chapter 4. Your chapter 4 is otherwise known as your data analysis chapter, your data presentation and analysis. Components of your chapter 4 includes presentation of data, the tables, the figures, the charts, the analysis of research questions, testing of hypotheses, using appropriate statistical tools, yeah, interpretation of results, discussion of findings. Then we'll get to your chapter 5. That's your summary, conclusion, and recommendation. The components are summary of findings, conclusions, recommendations, suggestions for further research. They will have limitations of the study, which is most often optional. This is the end of the video. So in our next class, we are going to focus on each chapter, picking each chapter by chapter and explaining each chapter in detail. Our mission in Foliage series is to ensure that you are carried along properly and to help you minimize mistakes in the course of your project work, in the course of writing, and in the course of the skills that will train people. Thank you for your time. Hope to see you in our next video where we explain preliminary pages and introduction.